Here, the CEO of the Next Level Coaching Academy. I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. YouTube, if you see me looking to the left, I'm recording a podcast. Majority of the time, I'm going to be looking to the right. I'm recording a YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoy this one. I really think that this is a message that is needed right now. And what that message is what is happiness? That's the question that I want to answer today. Now, you're probably looking at me. I look young. I'm 29 years old, right? I've lived 29 years of life. You're like, what does this guy know about happiness? Look, one of my big personal values is honesty and is transparency. I know I am young. I know I'm limited by my years of experience on this world. I've also accomplished a lot as a 29-year-old. I've done over 8 figures in sales in my companies. I'm married. I'm happily married to my high school sweetheart. I would consider myself a good friend. I would consider myself a good son. I'd consider myself a good brother. I'd consider myself a good person. I've done a lot of traveling. I've experienced a lot of things. And although I may not be an expert in happiness, I do think I have something that I want to say. And I think this message is coming at a very important time in our American history, in our world history. As of the time that I'm recording this video, literally just 5 days ago or 6 days ago, I think it's 5 days ago, there was attempted assassination on a former President Donald Trump. And that is where this world is at, right? A lot of people are confused. A lot of people are unhappy. A lot of people are not pursuing their goals. A lot of people are not pursuing their dream life. And I think more people need to be. I think more people need to be pursuing personal development, need to be pursuing personal excellence. And that's why that's our mission in NLCA. Yes, our mission in NLCA is to help people become full-time online fitness coaches. It's to help people leave their unfulfilling corporate jobs and step into and create a business of their dreams. But really, what our mission is at NLCA is, as a result of people stepping into their dream career, I know that changes every aspect of their life. They instantly become, because they're aligned with their purpose, because they're aligned with their career mission, they instantly become better parents. They instantly become better spouses. They instantly become better people. They start focusing on other aspects of their life more, their fitness, their relationships, their spiritual, and they start going down this journey of trying to actualize their best human potential. And that's NLCA's purpose. That's NLCA's mission, is to help people extract their maximum human potential. And once again, I'm not perfect. I'm not claiming to be perfect. I'm on this journey every single day as well. I'm trying to become a fitter human, a better human, a more spiritual human, a better in my relationships, a happier human. I'm trying to do everything, and I've made all the mistakes that everybody else has made. But I think this message needs to be heard. So we're going to answer that question today. If you see me looking off on the left-hand side here, I did take detailed notes. I don't want to miss a thing. All right, as I've said, this message is needed. So let's go ahead, let's waste no more time, and let's answer the question, what is happiness? Now, if you are watching this video, I highly recommend that you get a pen, that you get a notepad, you take notes, and I'm also going to be asking power questions. All right, I'm also going to be asking power questions. All right, what is a power question, Chad? A power question means it's going to make you think differently. It's going to make you think outside of the box. It means you're probably going to have to set aside time to actually sit and think. You're not going to have an immediate answer to these questions. That is a power question. So that is why it is extremely important for you to have pen and paper, to be taking notes, to write down these questions so that you can answer these questions when you set time aside. All right. 3 pillars to happiness. All right, I believe there are 3 pillars to happiness. Pillar number 1 is discipline. All right, pillar number 1 is discipline. So what I have written down here is happiness isn't just strong emotions, it's discipline. Discipline creates a sense of control, which makes us feel free, and freedom equals happiness. All right, often we think that happiness is just this emotion. We think it's something that's out of our control. We think it's something that we experience. We think it's something that just happens to us. When really, yes, happiness is a strong emotion, but it's not just a strong emotion. We do have control over our own happiness. Yes, there can be things that happen to us in our lives that make us happy that maybe we weren't planning on. Just like how there are things in our lives that make us sad when we weren't planning on it as well. However, there is an aspect of your happiness that is controllable. And that controllable asset is your discipline. All right, like I said, discipline creates a sense of control. And when you have a sense of control over certain areas of your life, you feel like you have freedom in that area. Even if it isn't true, right? Even if this control is false, which a lot of the times we don't have a lot of control of things, right? Like for example, if I was a healthy and fit individual, I might feel in control with my body. I might feel in control with my health, but then tomorrow I can get diagnosed with cancer, right? So a lot of this is falsified, but even because it is, or even if it is falsified, we still have that feeling, that sense of control. And having that sense of control, once again, creates freedom, and freedom equals happiness. All right, freedom equals happiness. So let me give you some examples here. Like I said, discipline in your health and fitness is going to make you feel more in control of your physique. It's going to make you feel more in control of your appearance. It's going to make you feel more in control of your health and fitness and your longevity. And if we feel those ways, we're going to feel free, right? We're going to have a lot more freedom. We're going to have a lot more physical freedom. We're going to say, oh yeah, I can go for a run. Oh yeah, I can play that pickup sport of football. Oh yeah, I can go kayaking. Oh yeah, I could do this. I could do that, right? We feel physically free. Oh yeah, I have no problem taking my shirt off at the beach. There is no limitation. There is no limitation, and that's what freedom is, right? Discipline with our career and our finances makes us feel in control of our financial choices. If we feel in control of our financial choices, we have freedom. We have financial abundance. We have freedom, right? So once again, creating discipline in your career, creating discipline with your savings, with your spending, allows you to feel more financially free. The more financially free we have, the more choice we have. The more choice we have, the more freedom we have. We can travel, right? We can buy things for people. We could be more of a giving person. We can create amazing experiences, right? That's what financial freedom does. Now, the next example here is discipline with our relationships, which makes us feel in control of our social life, allowing us to feel a sense of belonging and community, right? So when we are relationally free, right? When we've given ourselves to other people, right? When we devote to creating a strong friendship, a strong marriage, a strong brotherhood, a strong sisterhood, whatever it is, right? It makes us feel like we have a sense of belonging. And when we have a sense of belonging, when we have shared values, when we feel like we're a part of a community, it makes us feel free. It makes us feel as one. All right, so the first key to happiness here is you have to have a disciplined life. And discipline creates control. Control creates freedom. All right, power question. Like I said, there's going to be power questions. So power question number 1, associated to discipline. Where in your life can you be more disciplined to create more control and more freedom? All right, write that one down. Okay, we're moving on to point number 2. Point number 2, the second key to happiness here is mission and purpose. All right, let me read my notes. Happiness is driven by having a clear mission or purpose, all right? Typically, this is doing something or being part of something that is aligned with your core values. So let me ask you this question. So this isn't a power question, I'm just asking you this question. Is what you are doing in your life, right? Usually our purpose, right? Whatever our purpose is, if it's to be a great father, a great mother, to be a great son, to be amazing in our career, to be amazing in an athletic endeavor, whatever it may be, whatever our purpose is currently in your life, is it aligned with your values? Is it aligned with your personal values? Because the two are one and the same. Your mission and your purpose has to be aligned with your values. If there is misalignment with your core values and your mission and your purpose, it is not your mission and your purpose. I can tell you that right now. You're just doing it for an alternative motive. Maybe it's to get a paycheck, right? Maybe it's to get recognition from somebody else, right? Whatever it may be, all right? Mission and purpose and values have to be aligned. All right, number 2, having a strong sense of impact Solving a problem that you care about, all right? Mission and purpose is solving a problem that you care about. So ask yourself that question. Are you solving problems that you care about? And if the answer is no, you're probably not focused on your mission and your purpose. All right, number 3, it doesn't always have to be this abstract thing either. Often we think that our mission and our purpose needs to be grand. I really want to spend a second on this one because this one really fucked me up. Every time that I would question myself, what is the meaning of my life? What is the purpose of my life? All these things, I fished for these grand answers. I thought that I needed to have this massive mission, which I do, and that's who I am as a person, is kind of what I've realized, is that I like grandiose visions. But there are some people out there who think they need to have a grandiose vision in order to have a worthwhile passion, in order to have a worthwhile purpose and mission, when they really actually don't want to have a grandiose mission. They don't want to be a famous person. They don't want a massive business. That's not what they want. Their mission is simple, right? Their mission in life is simple, and then they get all fucked up in the head because they think they need to have a bigger mission when they actually don't. It's okay to have a simple mission. It's okay to have a simple mission. It's also okay to have a selfish mission. I'm going to be completely blunt. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've been an entrepreneur for 9 years. All right, I would say for probably the first 6 to 7 years, my mission was to make Chad money. Chad was broke. Chad had no financial freedom. Chad had nothing going for him in terms of his finances. My first 7 years, Chad wanted to make money. Chad wanted to make money. That was his purpose. That was his mission. I would say over the past 2 years, because my own personal needs are met, right? My own personal financial needs are met. Now my mission has extended beyond just myself. Sure, yes, of course I want to make money. Of course I want to maximize my financial earning potential, but it's more than that now. I care about creating opportunity for my staff. I care about getting our clients results. Beyond that, I have a mission and purpose of spreading personal excellence and pursuing personal development, right? Like, I have other things that I care about now in my life, but it didn't start that way. And a lot of times when we have a selfish mission, we think that we're a bad person, and we're not. We're not. It's okay to have a selfish mission, right? And once again, once your needs are met, that's usually when your mission goes beyond just your own self-serving interest. At least that's what I've noticed, and I've noticed that with a lot of other successful people as well. All right, a couple other false things that I want to break down in terms of people creating their own mission and purpose. The next one here is people think that once they have a mission, once they have a purpose, they can't switch it. They can't have another mission and purpose. That's not true. Your mission and purpose could be fluid. My mission and purpose has been fluid many of times. Now, I would say if you're changing it every week, that's a problem. But if it's like every 3, 5, 7 years, you readapt and change your mission and purpose, I would say that's appropriate. Your mission and purpose should adapt with you as a human being. We're constantly growing, we're constantly evolving, and if we keep the mission and purpose the same and we don't even alter it at all or build upon it, it doesn't mean that the core has to change. The core of the mission and the purpose can stay the same, but if we're not adding to it, if we're not altering it or changing it or tweaking it, that is a problem, because you're not changing the mission with yourself. Like I said, you're changing an evolving person. Now, the next point here, it doesn't have to be about your career either. I think a lot of people think their mission and their purpose has to be tied to their career. It doesn't always have to, right? If you look back at American history, I would say even in the 80s and the 90s, I would say it wasn't really until the 2000s that career became the predominant thing. I would say in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, definitely in the 50s, definitely in the 60s, career was just career. You went there to make money, but most people's purpose in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s was family. Right? If you really look back on American history, it was the single family unit and creating the best family possible, and career usually came second. It's kind of flipped now in the 2000s, 2010 to 2024. Every decade that goes by, it seems like career becomes the bigger and bigger thing. All right, next thing here. It can and should be simple, right? Like we've talked about, your mission can and should be simple. All right, so here come the power questions. So a little bit of recap here. Happiness is discipline. It's also mission and purpose. All right, power questions for mission and purpose. If you strip away all the expectations and pressures, what's the one thing you feel most compelled to dedicate your life to, both personally and professionally? That's question number one. Question number two. When you think about your life's work and personal journey, what do you want your defining impact to be, and how do you want to be remembered by your family, friends, and colleagues? Now, number 3, reflecting on your core values and the legacy you want to leave. What is the most meaningful and fulfilling thing you can pursue that aligns with who you truly are? Those are my power questions. All right, we're gonna get into the final thing. I said happiness is 3 things. The first thing is discipline. The second thing is mission and purpose. The third thing is gratitude. All right, the third thing is gratitude. Let's break this one down. Happiness is sustained. That's the key word. Happiness is sustained by a sense of gratitude. All right, so sustained is the key word there, right? Because we can get happiness in small doses, right? Even if it's not really true happiness. Right? I'm gonna be graphic, but you have sex, right? And if you're just having countless sex with people that you don't love and care about, sure, you feel short-term happiness, but it's not really sustained. But when you have sex with somebody that you love, right? It's sustained because you're grateful for that experience, right? See what I'm saying? Now, same thing with career. You could be in a career making a ton of money, and every time you get a paycheck, it creates happiness. But are you truly, is it sustained? No, because you're not truly grateful, right? If you love your career, you're grateful for the experience, and then that's long-lasting, sustainable happiness. So gratitude, if you want to have long-term happiness, if you want to have sustained happiness, it comes from gratitude. All right, so gratitude equals a positive outlook. Very often, I'm going to speak to my high achievers here, very often we constantly think we need more. We constantly think that we're behind. We constantly think that we're nowhere near where we want to be or where we should be, right? And that's great. You shouldn't change that about yourself. I'm not saying that's bad, because that's what drives you. However, when we feel those things with the void of gratitude, that's when we start feeling depressed. That's when we start feeling down on ourselves. That's when we start feeling angry. That's when we start feeling anxious, is when there's the void of gratitude. But when you are pursuing your goals and you are grateful, that's when you can have sustained happiness. All right, so let's go ahead and break this down. Always somebody has it worse, right? So if you are somebody who is not grateful, which I'm not saying that as a bad thing, because honestly, out of those 3 things, discipline, purpose, and mission, and gratitude is the one that I struggle with the most. I think it's very natural for high achievers to struggle with gratitude for all the reasons that I've already explained. But you gotta realize, somebody has it worse, right? Think about what you're actually angry about. You're angry because you've made $100,000 a year and you wanna make $500,000 a year. You're angry because you're making $1 million a year and you wanna make 8 figures a year. Like, really think about your problems here. There's always people that have it worse. Always people that have it worse. Number 2, we often get caught up in our own pity party and seek sympathy, right? Oh man, working so hard, right? Like I fall victim to that too. I always go to, oh man, I'm just stressed, I'm working so hard, man, right? And we create this pity party, we create this sympathy, and that comes from a lack of gratitude, right? You should be like, man, I'm so fucking grateful that I even have the capability to work so fucking hard. All right, I'm talking to myself here mostly, guys, as you can see, but hopefully this is helpful for you too. All right, number 3, we often ruminate about our own problems, which only make them bigger and bigger, right? When we have something that happens in our life, we tend to think about it more and more and more, and it creates the problem and makes it bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm gonna tell you a personal story. When I was around 18 to 21, I always thought there was something wrong with me. I was like, man, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, I'm just so different than everybody. What is wrong with me? And when you ask yourself that question, your brain goes to work. So a little extreme, but I started labeling myself with serious mental health disorders. I labeled myself with schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, bipolar, you name it. Any mental disorder, I told myself I had it, because that gave me the answer that yes, there is something wrong with me. It's almost like I wanted there to be something wrong with me, so I didn't have to feel this feeling that I was feeling anymore. And it got so bad to the point where I took myself to psychiatrist after psychiatrist after psychiatrist and asked them that same question, what is wrong with me? And the only thing that they told me was that I was anxious. They said, you were anxious. I didn't accept that answer, so I continued to go to multiple psychiatrists, but they all said I was anxious. And then eventually I got into entrepreneurship, and I found myself. I still feel those feelings, I still feel anxiety, but it's not to the point where it's debilitating like it was in my early 20s. All right, and that's because I found a vehicle to channel that anxiety through. All right, but getting back to this, right? I also had a lack of gratitude. I had a lack of gratitude, which then let me think about ruminating on my problems, creating this self-pity party, and it getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, I'm gonna tie this all together. I'm really speaking to high achievers right now, right? As high achievers, we usually always think about what we don't have, and that's fine because it drives us. But if that is our only thought, it eventually creates this perception that we are always losing, which doesn't serve us, all right? That's why it's so important to have gratitude, y'all. It sustains happiness. We can find and seek short-term happiness all day long, right? But if we, and even if we have discipline, and even if we have mission and purpose, we won't feel truly happy unless we have gratitude. And that last point hits home much more than you know, because I'm extremely disciplined. I'm extremely mission driven, right? But the times that I'm grateful is when I'm happy. And at the times that I'm not grateful, but I still have these other two things, I feel constantly stressed, anxious, and angry. All right, so it's truly, number 3 there is truly the most important one. Now, here are my last power questions for you guys today. My last power questions. When was the last time you thought about the things that you are grateful for in your life? Question number 1. Question number 2, are you more focused on the things you do have or the things you don't have? Question number 2. Question number 3, who do you need to communicate your gratitude to today? All right, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're listening on the podcast, I hope you enjoyed this podcast as well. We answered the question, what is happiness? It is discipline, mission and purpose, and gratitude. Love you guys. Chat soon.